Hello, hello. So I guess it's been kind of the guardian dragon in the room for a while that at some point every Flight Rising user is going to try to sell their dragons, and I've got some tips and direction that you might want to take when you reach that point. The first thing that we absolutely must clarify is, what are your motivations? If you're doing this to try to make treasure, let me assure you, there are much better ways to make treasure than selling dragons. Dragon sales are not a reliable source of income unless you have some additional talents. I'll get more into that in a little bit. If you're doing this just to make treasure, you might be much better off leveling up and exalting dragons yourself. The lowest dragons selling in the auction house are going to be cheaper than the exalt bonus. Then I need you to think about how your relationship to your dragons is modeled. You're going to have a lot of unnamed offspring on your dragon pages. Along with that is the concept of, do you want your dragons to survive? Not just be named, but do you want them to survive? If so, you're not going to want to list them as the lowest price in the auction house. Those dragons tend to be exalt fodder for dominance battles. The very first thing that you're going to want to do is break out a spreadsheet. I'm just kidding, but also if you really want to use a spreadsheet, I commend you for doing so. I think it's very practical. And do a little bit of research on the dragons like your dragon currently in the auction house. Now, what do I mean by dragons like your dragon? I mean dragons that are the same breed. If your dragon is a new breed, obviously that's going to boost the price up. If the dragon that you're trying to sell's breed is not new, then you could also do a comparable breed. For instance, Codals and Wild Claws are the same rarity, so you might want to use that as like a look-alike comparison. You also want to factor in genes. If the gene is newer or harder to get, then that dragon is going to sell for more. So those are the things that you're going to want to keep in mind. Also, something that's going to play into this is the coloration of your dragon. Those three colors, how well they play together aesthetically is going to affect how your dragon is going to sell. That is one of the largest factors in purchasing and selling dragons. You're going to want to keep in mind if there's double colors or even triple colors. On a technical aspect, you're going to want to list the dragons on the auction house for 1 day or 3 days instead of 7. What this is going to do is it's going to create a false sense of urgency. If there's only 1 hour left on this dragon, somebody who may not have been willing to convert may do so. Incredibly crucial to this process is advertising your dragons. Yes, there are people who are scrolling through the auction house looking for something to buy, but more so, these dragons will be impulse buys to users either on the forums or on social media. I highly recommend posting them to Tumblr. You're going to want to include all of their necessary pieces of data. That's probably age, a picture of what they look like right now if they're a hatchling, and a picture of what they'll look like as an adult. If they don't have the best genes, but they're either like a great breed and they're really good colors, then you may want to show what they would look like with some genes added. Definitely include in the description what the genes are right now and a picture of what the dragon looks like right now. That's super important to be upfront with the truth of what the dragon looks like. Get creative with the advertising. This is one of the biggest factors that users cite in being able to move dragons quickly, is having some kind of creative element. If you're very artistic, it helps to have digital art, but you could also purchase adoptables or create your own adoptables for the dragons. People just like original art associated with a dragon. If you're not so great at the illustrations, you could also write a little bit of lore, like a little snippet about the personality of the dragon. Even giving them a bio page layout requires no talent to purchase a template for a bio and then fill it with pictures from the website. Also requires no talent putting together an aesthetic mood board for the dragon. This will definitely give people a sense of a persona of the dragon, and if any part of the mood board resonates with them, that gives a huge incentive to get the dragon. And that takes absolutely no talent. It just takes time and it moves dragons. So obviously you want to put a value on your time and your abilities and then not sell a dragon for less than what you value those abilities. That's obviously a huge issue in freelancing in general. You don't want to be doing work for free. You want to be doing work and getting the recognition and payment you deserve for it, so don't undervalue your stuff. I definitely recommend trying to tie it together all up into an aesthetic and being able to put like a phrase on it, pastel mermaid or a mystic witch. People love that stuff. It's easy to understand. It gives you an idea of who the dragon is, and then once they know who the dragon is, it's so much harder for them to not purchase that dragon. And then at the end of the day, if the dragon has some undesirable genes and you want to swap them out for something else, it's probably best to not do that. You will not make up the money that you lose in gening or scatter scrolling a dragon. What advice do you have for selling dragons? Let us all know in the comments below. Last time we went over the viewer's choice bottleneck, and it was between Sad Pixie Stick and Happy Pixie Stick. To very few people's surprise, Happy Pixie Stick is the winner. Sad Pixie Stick will be moving on to the Dragon Afterlife. Our next matchup is Cupertino or Norwalk. Go ahead and let me know in the card annotation who should survive and who should be exalted. Anyways, like I said at the top, you're better off making treasure some other way. I made an entire video about those other ways. Check out my advice on becoming filthy dragon capitalist wealthy in that video here. These are the strategies I follow and they work. Also, while you're here, you should check out this video I made about running this channel and how supporters can help me make more quality content. Please consider checking it out and backing me on Patreon. A huge shout out to Shorty's Gaming Hub for joining the Showmaker Squad. Because they backed at this level, we'll be working together on a video. That could be your reward. Think about it. For the converted price of 500 gems a month, you could support me more than any of these videos have. If you like Flight Rising content and you want to see more of it, subscribe to this channel. Likes help raise the visibility of this video, so boost this video if you think it's worthwhile. Thanks!